Hey everyone, welcome and thank you for being here. It is Sunday, January 31st, 2021. And for me, it's the middle of the night. I couldn't sleep. I felt a pull to do a reading. And it's more than a reading, guys. This is a message. Okay. I like to think of my readings as messages. And, you know, it's when spirit comes through to deliver something. Spirit comes through. It doesn't matter what time of day it is. Typically for me, though, it's the middle of the night. I think it's because life slows down when you're sleeping, of course. But I want us to kind of just take a moment to put your hand on your heart and feel yourself breathing. Feel your heart beat. Feel that precious gift, your precious gift of life, and feel that beautiful fire within yourself. Slow it down now, guys. Time for you for a moment or two to feel the precious beating of your heart, to really feel something. I feel like many of you are either on the threshold of coming out of a situation, like it could be anything, guys, or you are feeling very trapped. Okay, so I feel like it's one or the other. Some of you may even feel like you're in the in between. And I think one day I want to get into this phases of transformation and spiritual ascension. But right now I feel very strong that there's a something that's been popping into my head for a while, not into my being, which I know when something pops in my head and then leaves, it's just that. But when something comes in and I feel it so strong, this has been recurring for, I'm going to say, over a month now. And it is, I don't know if any of you are familiar with Joseph and the Coat of Many Colors. That story, when I was a kid, my I I was familiar with many stories from the Bible, uh, and we're not going to go into the right version or the not so right version of the Bible. I don't know what that is, and as I have said many times, I am not so much religious but more spiritual, and what I feel and what I believe in my closeness with my guides, my angels, and God is within me. And if you go to church, that's great. I fully support you. For me, that's not for me right now. It is what comes to me as messages, as divine guidance, and my closeness with my guides, like I said. So, what I've been feeling lately is remembering the story of Joseph and the Coat of Many Colors. And if you're not familiar, look it up, Google it, whatever. But the story, I'm just going to give a brief synopsis. I'm not going to go into the whole thing. What I remember as a child is that Joseph was one of many brothers. He was, I think, the youngest, and his father was very old when he and his wife had this child, Joseph, right? And so, and now consider this to be like in biblical times, okay? So in those times, the children had to work the fields and work whatever it was to keep the family going. Joseph, being the youngest, was um, favored by his father very much. Joseph had a gift of vision, he had clairvoyance. Um, and I believe that in modern day we would call it psychic. Um, but he was very, very psychic, very gifted, and could see into the future. It would come to him in his dreams a lot of times. I personally believe, now that I'm an adult, that if this story were to reflect how we view gifts these days, I believe he would have been in waking moments when he had these visions as well, in his sleep, in his waking moments. And he would tell his family over dinner, um, the dreams that he had had, and they would kind of, the brothers weren't so thrilled about it because they were jealous, of course. How can this person, be so favored? We work hard, and yet he comes to us with all his fanciful stories and visions and whatever it is that he dreams, and yet Father favors him. And so they were very jealous of their brother. But one day, Joseph's father presented him with a gift, and it was a coat of many colors that they had made out of rags, and wanted to give it to Joseph because I feel it's because that's how they saw him, very colorful, very alive, and um, full of dreams. And so they made him this coat of many colors, and Joseph proudly received it. And the brothers were enraged because how dare he get a gift when we work our asses off and he's the one that's favored. And so, long story short, the brothers decided that they were going to kill Joseph because he had come to them with a really huge vision that he had seen, a dream that he had, and they were offended by it. And I believe that they were so enraged and jealous and full of rage that they decided to take matters into their own hands and um, kill their own brother. They wanted to be rid of him because they didn't want to see their father favor him anymore. I feel like this is sort of a um, rags to riches. Like the brothers felt like they were, had to. Um, the brothers felt like they were rags, and they felt like their Joseph was riches. I don't know. That's what I'm feeling right now. Like someone felt lesser than someone else. So long. I'm just gonna kind of keep going with the story a little bit longer, guys. I promise the reading's coming. They threw him in a pit, and they wanted to leave him there um, for the animals, so the animals could come and get him and kill him, because they didn't want to kill him themselves. They didn't want their father to think they killed him, so they wanted to say, "All right, Father, you know, the animals took him." So they let him sit there and die. They wanted him to die, so they were just going to leave him there. But some merchants came along, and they decided to sell their brother to these merchants. Joseph had a gift, and there were many that resented him for it. Guys, when we have a gift and we have a direction, sometimes there's going to be people that are jealous and not supportive. And I'm not saying they're going to want to kill you, that's just the story. But we can sometimes lose hope and go into despair when we see others around us reaping their blessings and benefits and reaping whatever harvest they have sown. And we oftentimes wonder, why isn't life going the way it should for me? Why is this person receiving everything? Gifts and having a gift and being the center of attention. When is it my turn to have things, to have nice things, to have someone do nice things for me? That's how I feel that energy is right now for some of you, okay? Not all, but for some of you. And why can't I ever have something nice? Why is it someone else always gets the nicer car or the better job or the perfect boyfriend or, you know, whatever? Um, but what I feel Spirit is here to say today to some of us is, don't you worry. There is a plan for you. There is a plan, a divine plan for your life. And I know some of you are struggling right now with, like a lot of people, income and job loss and maybe someone was sick in your family. You guys, I feel like Spirit is here to say everybody can have those gifts. The coat of many colors, the inspirations, the aspirations, the dreams, to have a better life, to have a better now, right? And that's why I say in many of my readings that the blessings are here for us. Now, not granted, not everybody probably has those um, acute, intuitive gifts. Some may have other gifts, but whatever it is you have, I feel like you need to allow yourself to see what that gift is that you have. Because no one has one gift that's lesser important than the other if it's good and if it's at the core, it is based on love, right? And goodness. And so I feel like Joseph, there was a plan for Joseph. There was a plan for him with those gifts that he had. And he was so not really, I'm not going to say he was putting himself on a high pedestal, but he was wanting to share the excitement of the dreams that he was having with his family, but they didn't support him. And so for some of you, I feel like maybe you're called to do something um, spiritually or something that's more fulfilling in your life, but you're not getting the support of others. And I feel like it could be either they don't understand or they're jealous. But here's the thing, you're responsible for your own path, guys, not someone else's. It's not your responsibility to make them feel comfortable with your choices or your following whatever it is that you feel you should be, whatever path you should be on. I feel like Spirit is here to say, listen up. It's your responsibility to rejoice in your gifts and your blissfulness, maybe even blissful ignorance about people around you, and enjoy your gifts. Enjoy your your uniqueness, okay? I feel like Spirit is here to say, it's not for you to worry about if someone's angry with who you are. If they don't support you and they don't care about how your happiness and your what you or they don't celebrate with you the things that make you happy, then it's not up to you to change to suit uh, their needs, guys. It's up to you. It's your responsibility to carry on with the unique you that you are and to bring forward to the world or even bring forth, let your uniqueness come out. Let it be presented to you. Explore the you that you may not even know yet. And so I want to see what Spirit has here in regards to some messages. Um, this is wisdom from the hidden realms that I felt called to at 3 a.m. this morning to see what messages our guides have for us. That was a story, guys. It was a story from a uh, it was a biblical story that I remembered when I was a kid. And for some reason, it's been prevalent. And what I feel right now is that there are many things in life that lead us to um, realizations that we're very colorful beings. It's some people see things in black and white, and some people um, kind of see things in a colorful way, like, oh, the possibilities. And but what Spirit wants to say is that, guys, there's so many possibilities for us on our path. So many things that we can miss if we don't slow down. If we don't um, help ourselves out of the muck and mire. Um, and so I feel like Spirit is here to say, whatever it is, guys, that you feel like you're being held back from, don't ever let it be because it's another person holding you back. Because, yeah, things can be disappointing in life and they can be heartbreaking sometimes. And sometimes we don't understand the path that we're on. But know that whatever direction you're being led to by Spirit, by your own internal dialogue, by your own light, that it's in your highest good. And so I highly encourage you, if you are not in tune spiritually with yourself and you're just starting out on your spiritual journey, that you maybe pray or ask for assistance in confirmation of where you're supposed to be on your path. There are many people out there that can do spiritual guidance for you. Spiritual can be a guide for you on your path. But make sure that you ask for guidance first, okay? Because sometimes you can maybe, um, there's so much out there on YouTube that you have to be careful who you listen to, okay? But, anyways, I feel like Spirit is here to say to us, all of us in some way, shape, or form, you're feeling pulled in one direction or the other for a reason, okay? And maybe something, it's important for us as human beings to understand that when something doesn't work out, it's because there's something better, okay? And I do feel like um, it's an awakening for a lot of us. It is a opening up to and stepping into our own, I don't know if I want to say rite of passage, but into our own, wherever it is that we're supposed to be on our path. And a big part of that is learning about ourselves, diving into the self exploration, and not just, hey, what gifts do I have? Let me see if I have the gift of this or that. That's fine, but allow whatever has to come through right now in this moment to come through for you. Okay. Um. So in consulting, I love to do cards because they are just confirmation of what comes through from Spirit, and whatever I'm feeling inside sometimes is what I see on the cards. And that really is amazing to me because I don't pre-pick them a lot of times. I mean, all the time. Whatever cards are here for us, whatever message is here for us comes through in one way, shape, or form, one way or another, right? Uh, yeah. So what I feel here is Spirit saying, there's a big picture here, right? And I feel like someone in our on the other side, or someone in another, you know, chapter of their life, not here on this plane, that has been long gone from here, is reaching out with, it's sort of like, let me help you through this phase here, because you don't even know the half of who you are. You don't even know what it is that you can do to, in the name of love, in the name of service to yourself, service to your path, whatever life purpose or life calling is calling out for you. I feel like some of you are sort of in that place where you're like, okay, I hear you. And maybe you've been feeling some sort of pull, a tug at your heartstrings or whatever, pulling you in a direction, and maybe you haven't um, really, you've kind of just shooed it away like a fly. Like, no, I can't even think about that. I can't change career like that. I can't go back to school. I can't, whatever. And you've been putting it off. but you're also not feeling fulfilled wherever it is that you are, whether it's a relationship, a career, um, whatever it is. And I feel spirit here saying even your body's sending you signals. Maybe your body's been achy, or you've been feeling weird pains in certain parts of your body. But I always say this too. If you feel at all like you're not well, go to the doctor. Don't let me. But spiritually speaking, when we have certain things in our life that have to change, or something is sitting that's a toxic energy, or an energy that's stuck, it comes through in our physical being. Our body can go through aches and pains, or um, whatever it is that is sort of a, hey, I'm trying to get your attention here. And something as simple as taking a few moments to kind of just breathe and quiet your mind can really make a big difference in, okay, I'm listening, and here I'm here to listen to whatever message you have for me, guys, or whatever confirmation, whatever dream comes in. It is a sign or a signal to me that you're trying to tell me something, that your inner dialogue, your higher self, your guides, they're all here to help you on your path, to not just give you those little hints, but to maybe kind of bring forward some message that's clear for you. And I feel like you're kind of in that place where you can't push it away anymore. There's something that has to give, something has to change. But you feel it, and maybe you haven't been able to quite put your finger on it. So let's see what else Spirit has to say about that, because in this card here, the big picture, there is a greater plan for you guys. This isn't it. I mean, this isn't just where this is the rest of my life. This is what I do every day, 9 to 5. Get up, eat breakfast, get in the car, go to work, come home. There's so much more. And again, I'm very careful with these messages, so please don't misunderstand. I don't mean quit your job. What I mean is there's so much more to you, so much depth that you don't know about. And believe me, in the past few years, I have discovered so much about myself. And and there's so many things that have really come to light for me, have really come into focus. Self-respect, self-confidence, growth in areas that I never dared to go to before. And knowing all the while, since I was a child, that I had a gift, many gifts, and putting those away because I didn't want anyone to judge me. I didn't want anyone to be, hate on me, or maybe even be jealous. I don't know. Um, but it's time to stand up on your own. Okay? It's time to pay attention to your own I was going to say red flags, but I don't mean it that way. I mean um, communication or feelings coming in that is kind of pulling you in one direction or another. A big key to this is placing your faith in the universe and God and in yourself. I say this all the time, guys, that it starts with you, and it does. So I know there are people who this isn't their type of channel because they want answers to, well, does he love me? Does he not? How does he feel about me right now? My issue with that is that, guys, no one knows you like you, okay? And if you want to know how someone feels about you, open up your eyes, open up your heart, and you can see for yourself, okay? Um, and some of these, readings, they talk about how people aren't communicating right now, how they're in separation, and you know, you're kind of in that situation where you want to know, is he thinking of me? What's he doing? And does he know how much I care or whatever? What Well, I know that it's human nature to want instant gratification, instant answers, guys. You have to know that you have to go within first, okay? There's nothing wrong with um, listening to readers that have that kind of format. Okay, if that's your thing, that's good, that's fine. But what I'm saying is, it always starts with you, always. And the gifted readers do tap into people's energies. I do firmly believe that. Um, and some people, that's the ones that really truly have the gift. But it starts with you, okay? Um, it's kind of like going up to a stranger, you know, and saying, hey, do you know if my boyfriend or the guy that I care about is thinking about me? And this isn't a criticism, guys. It's just putting this out there. Would you trust that? Because I would trust myself first. I would get into my moments and ask for assistance with that. And while those readings are fun and they're great, and I'll have to admit in the past I did listen to them, but as I learn more about myself, I'm learning to trust myself more. Okay. And that's why I listen to readers that are more on the spiritual side, because that's more what I resonate with, because I want to know about me, my spiritual self first, right? And I want to know so that I can be informed of me, who I am. Um, so, anyways, I I want to continue on with this reading. Guys, when I say what I say on these readings, it's because I'm guided. It's what I feel spirit or your guides want to say. I'm sorry. I dropped a card on the floor. Okay. And so we have the Desert Prince. Some of you have been in survival mode, just trying to survive, right? And I feel like some of you have felt disappointed maybe in someone, that maybe someone has I feel like someone has given you like false support. How do I say this? Because maybe they didn't really believe in you, or maybe there was some sort of, they just felt obligated to support you. I don't know. I feel like there's some sort of um or maybe because I feel like there's some sort of deception, but I don't think it's about somebody willfully deceiving you or like playing you. I feel like it's partially your own belief in yourself. Like maybe there's some sort of, because see this Desert Prince here, he's sort of like, you know, it's sort of like he's out of place. I don't know. I feel like he's in this dry desert where he's he's looking for an oasis of water or something, but he's not finding it, right? He's not really finding it. He's seeing illusions. And that he's not really approaching how do I say this? Bear with me one sec. I feel like this message, this card is about, what's that word? That's that song, Don't Go Chasing Waterfalls, whatever, right? Like maybe some of you have been on this trajectory of, I'll try this and see if I feel better. I'll try that and see if I feel better. But nothing is satisfying you, okay? So you're in this dry place where nothing can get satiated, nothing can quench your thirst. It's because you haven't opened up to what is truly meant for you, okay? You haven't allowed yourself to open up to that because maybe you've been focused on other things in your life that um, prevent you from seeing the big picture. Do you see? That's where this comes in, the big picture, right? So maybe whatever's going on in your life or what has gone on is trying to close out. And now you're sort of in this place where you're like, huh, I've tried this, it didn't work. I've tried that, it worked temporarily, but it didn't fulfill me. Or maybe you made a decision and you chose one job over the other, but it didn't pan out. You thought it would be better. So there's those things going on, guys. That's what I feel. Um, and it feels like there's balance that's needed, right? The keeper of the scales, fairness and balance. It feels like there's some sort of um, not just a knock on the door, but a banging on the door of um, your energy, saying, "Okay, are you ready now? Let's go. Let's balance this out because you haven't been. That's why you haven't been fulfilled. That's why you haven't felt satiated. That's why you feel like you're in a dry desert." Because you have to allow the chapters in your life to end. You have to allow certain doors to close. You have to allow that and have faith that whatever that door is that's closing, it's it's just a step or two away from the next door that's opening. Do you know what I'm saying? If you've ever been in a hotel room and there's adjoining rooms, there's a door in between. You can leave the door open so that the two parties can, you know, treat it like it's one big room or whatever. So, but when you close that door, it is uh, you're cut off now from the other side. So that's kind of what I feel too, is that you have to allow certain doors to close so that you can uh, sometimes feel your way through to the opening of the next door, so the opening of the beginning of a new chapter, right? Something better. And it takes a lot of strength and courage to allow that. Trust me, I know. I know. And sometimes it's heartbreaking to the point where you just want to roll over. And if you have to cry it out, cry it out. But there has to be a time when a certain thing in your life, whatever it is, a career ending, a retirement, a um, uh, losing somebody, um, you have to be able to be in that place where you can accept it and know that something better is coming for you or waiting for you. And whatever that something better is, it doesn't necessarily mean that um, it's different scenarios for all of us, guys. For some of you, it could be, um, you really like that job, but you had a lot of disappointment because it didn't get you that promotion like you thought it would. And maybe someone else got a higher position or was in charge of you now, and they were once your peer. Um, it could be that the pay wasn't there like you thought, and so I really like the job, but I don't see growth in it. So now I have to really close that door and move on to something else, and take what I've learned, all of the um, experience that you have to bring yourself to something even better. Okay. um, it goes without saying that this could be in any area of your life. It could be in a romance, it could be in finances, it could be in your health, whatever it is, guys. You have to allow the old to close out. That's what happens with soul contracts. When you have a soul contract, now I'm not going to go deep into this right now, but when there's a beginning and an end, right? You can't, if it's fate, you can't change that. It is what it is. And so you have to kind of, it's like, I don't, this pales in comparison, but when you're in traffic and it's not moving, there's nothing you can do. you have to just sit there and wait for the accident to clear up, or for whatever reason there's a congestion on the highway or wherever you are. You have to wait for that to clear. You cannot force it, right? It has to clear on its own. So that's how it is with closing out of chapters. You have to allow it to close out. You can't make it go any faster. You can't make it go any slower. You kind of are the participant here, on this journey. And sometimes in life we have choices all the time. We have free will, but there's some things that are fated for us. And you have to allow that to transition into whatever it's going to transition to into. Okay? Let me ask, because I think we're done with this deck here. So let me just ask my guides, what's the Ascended Masters here. I feel like they have something to say. Upside down. Okay. I'm going to just do a few of these cards and see what else Spirit has to say here for us. And then we can be on our way and do whatever we're doing on this beautiful Sunday. And I do feel, guys, that it is kind of a day of reflection for some of you. Yeah, there's a lot of energy coming in here. It's healing. Your energy is healing from old karmic stuff, right? Stuff that we're constantly on our path putting old things away and making room for the new. So I feel like this energy healing is here for you. It is a like I said in the beginning of my readings, I like to take a moment to clear out the energy so that we can make room for the message, right? That's what I feel is going on here. This energy healing. Some of you may even be called to be an energy healer, okay? And maybe you've been fighting it for a while because you don't know what your family will think. But I do feel like this is here for all of us. It's a healing that is deep, something that has kind of been like a wound that is taking forever to heal. I don't know if you've ever had that. I'm kind of a clumsy person, and I'm not saying that in a negative way, but I've always been that way. And so usually I'll have a scrape or a cut or a bruise or something, and it depends where you get a cut. Sometimes it takes longer to heal. And so I feel like with our spiritual journey, there's some things that take longer to heal. And when we resist that, right? When we go, look at, oh my God, that hurts so bad. That cut just won't heal. We kind of put that negative spin on it. And so when we are needing to heal within our energetic body, our inner being, there's things that we put off the healing because it hurts and we don't want to face certain things. But I feel like we know we're alive when we feel that pain. Not that we should want that pain, but it's necessary in order to come to peace. That's what I feel here, guys. Okay. So I feel like some of you may need a retreat into nature, and you may be in that place where you need a rest. And if you do, respect that and take that rest, guys. Okay? Very important. I feel like Spirit is done here with this message. I hope you've gotten a lot out of it, and I hope you find your way to peace, joy, and happiness. It starts with you. Love and light to all of you guys. Until next time, go with love.